Okay, guys, we are good to start. Now we will continue from the place where we had left, and then we will move ahead. Now, in yesterday's class, what we have done is we created a EFS, and then we went ahead and executed some user scripts. Okay. Now what we will do is we will see all the features which we have covered in theory last time, and today we will go and talk about them in practical. So I told you one of the major important things which you will be dealing with is your EC2 instance. So what we will be doing is I will go to my Mumbai region. So let me say I'm here in my Mumbai region, and I will go to EC2. And as of now, if I come here, I can see one security group which I had created yesterday, the default security group. And in this default security group, I have enabled certain port numbers. Like if you come here, you will see I have enabled this. All traffic is there by default. So I have enabled HTTP traffic, which is port number 80, and SSH traffic, which is port number 22. This is part one. The second part to this is that I have a EC2 key pair, which is this guy, RSA, mum-kp. So mum-kp, if I go here, I will be able to see that this mum-kp is my key pair, which is a PPK key. Now I'll go ahead and launch a EC2 instance. Many times we have done it, but this time when I go ahead and do it, I'll also relate to things which we have discussed in past. So the first thing is that you will go ahead and give a name to this machine. So I'll say HTTPD server. Okay, give a name. Then you come here and say that this is an operating system. I'll go with Amazon Linux. I'll go with 64-bit free tier eligible. I will stick to T2 micro. Now, this is the place where you compare your instance type. In my presentation, which I was doing that day, I showed you that there are different types of EC2 instances, and based on your requirement, you will go with them. So this is what we were talking about that day. So I told you that it is not very important for you to learn everything by heart, but at least you should know which to use when. And one mistake which you should never do is that you should go and say that I was using T2 micro. If it is a general purpose, go for M4 large, M4 XL, that kind of thing. If you are explaining that I was using a high speed storage, go to I2 series. If you're doing some memory optimized, get R4 series. Now this thing I can see here. So you can come here and say compare instance type, and you can go and look for the type which you want. So let me say I want M4 series. See M4 large, M4 2X large, 4X, 16X large. If I go with M4 16X large, see here, it is giving me 64 core CPU and 256 GB RAM, which is huge. Okay, but obviously it will come with a cost. So I'm not going with this. I will go with my basic T2 micro only, T2.micro. Once you are done with this, go ahead and select this and simply say that I would like to select the instance type. Then it will ask you for the key pair logic, which you already already have. Then it goes and asks you for subnet or your VPC. Now, I am not touching the network part now. I'll come to that later. But at any point of time, I can edit. This is the default VPC which I get. Subnet, you choose any subnet of your choice. Subnet is nothing but equivalent to your availability zone. So in Mumbai, I have 3 availability zones, AP South 1, C and B. So A, B, C, 3 are there. So I'll go with, let me say B. Okay, my choice. You can make any choice, no problem. Once it is done, you can go ahead and say that I will be using a security group which is already there for me. And I will take the default security group where I have already added 2 port numbers. Then in the advanced network security configuration, there are many features here, but I am mainly interested here in this guy. Sorry, advanced security advanced details, and I am interested in this guy, this user data. So I showed you that I will be using the user data, which is present here somewhere. I kept that user data thing. This is the user data I will be running. So I'll explain it again. It is bin bash, yum update, yum install, then start the service and hello world from. So this is, I just keep it hard coded. As of now, I'll not put anything. Hello world from AWS. Just give any message. Okay. happy learning. That's it. Okay. And then this thing is going into my index.html, var www index.html. So this is my script. Now, if I go all the way down, one last thing I will go and make a choice of is my storage. So it is my storage. So if I come here, you can see your storage is basically 8 GB and this is GP2. So I told you that there is GP3, IO1, IO2, and this corresponds to this guy. The EBS storage. So generally you are given 8 GB. And again, depending on your workload, you will make a choice which one to go with. As a solution architect, you will be asked these questions. So I'm stressing on these and I want that you should know these things. No need to by heart, but just keep it in your mind. Make a note and keep it somewhere. They may ask you what type of instance were you using. So you will have to say that, okay, it was a GP2 or it was a IO1. So whatever it is, you will be choosing from here. So as of now, I'll go with GP2. Anything?
Because one question here.
Yep.
So I saw that elastic block storage, right?
Yeah.
So for one elastic block storage, can we connect multiple instances?
See, if I go by the standard one, okay, the answer is no. But recently, Amazon came up with something called Nitro instances. Okay. If you are using that Nitro instance, yes, you can. So I will show you that. Okay. Let me launch this particular thing. Then I will come back and show you that. Okay.
And similarly, can we do the same scenario for S3 bucket?
No, S3 is not like that. S3 it cannot be shared with EC2 like that. So there, see, for everything, there is an alternate way. Okay. So if you want that the data which is there in S3 should be stored with, or which should be shared with multiple EC2 instance, then you have to bring IAM role into picture. Okay. So there are alternate ways, but direct, no. Okay. So keep this question aside. I will show you when I integrate S3 and EC2 together so they can communicate, but via IAM role. Okay. So in the advanced features, in the advanced details, I have few items like auto recovery. So many a times when you're running a website and due to some reason, your EC2 instance crashes. So automatically it will recover. Okay. This is one of the behavior. Another behavior is shutdown behavior. Now, many a times it may happen that you have shut down your machine or you have shut down your EC2 or shut down your AWS console. So in that case, what should happen to your machine? So it should either terminate or stop. So you can say stop. Okay. This is also one good way of making your machine stop. Then hibernate means you are going to not use your machine for a long time. So you say hibernate. But hibernate is like 6 months you are not going to use. If it is 1 day or 2 days, go and do stop. Now, one very good feature here is terminate protection. So terminate protection, what it will do is if there is someone who is accidentally deleting your data, again, I'm always stating that term accidentally, because there are hundreds of users who are working and they think that, okay, this is my instance and I have to delete, and they're deleting it. But actually it was your instance. So if he is accidentally deleting the data, so if you enable this termination protection, he will not be able to do it. Stop protection. So if you enable this, he will not be able to stop your instance also. So these new features are there. Then it comes to monitoring. So monitoring, I will teach you in detail, but then still I will say monitoring on cloud is done by Cloud Monitoring or CloudWatch. CloudWatch has two varieties. One is basic monitoring. The other one is detailed monitoring. So basic monitoring means the data will be collected in every 5 minutes and it is no charge. But if you go for detailed monitoring, the data will be collected in every minute and it is chargeable. So detailed monitoring is chargeable. Basic monitoring is not chargeable. If you use GPU, so many of you may put some graphics card on your machine because you're doing some extra work. So elastic GPU is same as your graphics card. Credit specifications. So many a times what happens is you get credits. Okay. So these credits, you can use it, or you have bought some reserved instances. From there, you get some credits. So you can use it here. Then here comes my placement group. So when I was teaching you placement group, I told that there are placement groups and you can use the placement group as per your requirement. So if I come back here, This is my placement group. It can be clustered, spread, or partitioned. So if I come here and I say that I want to create a placement group, it will give me those options: clustered, spread, or partitioned. So based on your requirement, you can go ahead with one type of placement group. If you don't want, let it be there. There's no problem. Then there is something called EBS optimized instances. So there are few, so T2 Micro will not have this, but if you want extra speed or great speed, so you can enable this. So whatever I'm telling you, you can click on the info and you can read. Okay, tenancy. Now tenancy should always be shared. So people like me who are just here for learning purpose, it should always be shared tenancy. If you go with dedicated and there is a cost involved, then you have to take care. I can't help you. So shared is always what you should go with. Never go with tenancy as dedicated. RAM and all, if you want a specific RAM, a specific kernel, then. Now, one of you were asking that if I have EBS volumes and I want to share it, so there is a new entry which comes here, Nitro instances. So this, if you want, no, this will be shared. But again, it's a very costly thing. Then Amazon gives you one more feature, which is BYOL, bring your own license. Now, let me say I'm working with Oracle software and I bought the software license some 3 months back, and it is valid for 1 year. Means still 9 months validity is available. Now, in case I have to migrate to cloud, so what happens to that 9 months of validity? So AWS Cloud says, don't worry, bring your own license. Let me know your license detail. I will allow you to use your license only. So you don't have to separately pay me for the license part. Okay. Now metadata accessible means you want to collect the metadata, like when it was connected and when it was created, who created, all those details. And then tagging is something. I have given the script. Number of instances I have told 1, and that's it. I am going ahead and it is telling that it is covered under free tier. So it is telling. So let me just go here all the way down here and launch the instance. So majorly, if you see here, I've used all the features which I have taught till now, except one, which is the connectivity or the VPC part. So networking is something which comes later. Now, because I am running a bootstrap script, when this machine will start, when this machine will launch, along with that, my script will also get executed. And if I have to check what is my script, which should or which will get executed. So let me just click on this and I can come here and see this. Auto termination, stop, auto recovery, change. Keep coming down, edit user data. So I can see this script getting executed for me. Okay. Few more things I will like to show you. While creating the instance, this is the metadata. So metadata means public IP, private IP, what is the host name, what is the IP address type, what is the instance type, what is the VPC, automatically assigned IP address, what is the IAM role associated. So as of now, nothing is there. So all the details you will be seeing here. This detail is known as metadata or data about the data. One important thing which you will see here is now if you go to terminate it, you will not get this terminate thing. Why? Because you have enabled terminate protection. So what you should do is go to actions, go to instance setting, and here change terminate protection. So now if you enable this terminate protection, then now if you want to delete it, you will be able to delete it. Okay, it is still not ready, I guess. 1 second, refresh this. Go ahead. Wait a second, that did not work, I guess. Instance setting, change terminate protection. So I have to remove that thing, save. Now let's come here, instance state. Now I can see this terminate thing. Okay. So now if you see here, this is still initializing, means still those scripts are getting executed in the background. If the scripts are successfully executed, I can take this and I can run it here like this. And I can see the Apache test page. So half the work is done, means HTTPD is installed. Only this index.html is yet to go ahead. So let me just go ahead and see what is happening inside. So let me connect via browser only. You can connect via other means also, but I'm connecting via browser. Connect. Hi Vikas, can we use our own license on sharing the instance? Yes, I just now told you, you can use your own licenses. Can we edit user data for running state? No, when it is running, you cannot edit. But if you stop the instance, definitely you can edit. But once you terminate, it is gone. So nothing can be done. So I am logged in as a root user. I will go and say service HTTPD status. Yes, it is running. If I go to var www HTML, I should see my index.html. So I can't see my index.html. So it looks like this script did not run properly. So there is a small problem. I don't know why this part did not run properly, but I think this must run. So let me take this and, or wait a second. I think this was the script. So last line did not execute properly. So I'll just go ahead and execute this. Just let me check. Index.html is there. Cat index.html. I think there is a problem here. Let me just go inside this index.html. This should be like this. Okay. Now come back here. Here. Wait a second. Come to this page and again refresh. And you're able to see your my website from AWS script. How is it coming? So the same line is present here in your index.html. Okay. So it is coming from here. Now, the last concept related to AWS, which I spoke, AWS EC2 is I spoke about images. No, can I get a question again? Can we use our own license on reserved instances? Yes, you can use your own licenses on reserved instances also. So basically, doesn't matter whether you are using spot instances or reserved or dedicated or on demand, you can use your licenses anytime. Okay. Now, I have spoken about, let me cross this. Now I have spoken about images and snapshots. I told images are bootable, snapshots are not bootable. So if I go to my AMI section right now, it says you don't have any images. If I go to my snapshot section right now, I have some snapshots. So let me remove the snapshot first. Action, delete the snapshot. Now, what I will do is I'll go ahead and create an image. And I will show you how when I create an image, automatically an image and a snapshot is created. So this is my instance, action, go to image and templates, create image, give any name, say HTTPD image. Okay, give the same description here. And go all the way and say that I want to create one image. Now it will create, it will take some time, but once it is done, you will be able to see your AMI here. Click on this. So as of now, there are two things which you need to see. First is it is private in the sense only you will be able to see it. And the second thing, it is pending. Okay. So I've already discussed on this and I have told that when you talk about snapshots and AMI, snapshot is only the backup of data. AMI is the backup of snapshot plus your software or data plus software. Now, because AMI contains both the items, it is required for reboot or if you want to spin a new instance. When will this be required? When do I need a snapshot? When do I need a AMI? There's a question here. By using EFS, are we able to share file between instances, right? How can we do that? And we are able to share between different regions. Okay, EFS, if EFS will not allow you to share the files between different regions, if you have to do between different regions, then you have to use something called CloudFront. CloudFront. This is something which is required. Global content delivery network, which will be coming later. But if you go to EFS, okay, you will be able to share the data, but it's a regional service. See here, if you create an EFS, it will only be there in Mumbai. So come and see here. So whatever name you give, let me say I give demo EFS. And if you create now, see here, it is regional. Or even if you create, it is one zone. So it cannot go across the region. But if you want to go across the region, means some data which you have in Mumbai, you want to also share it with somewhere in, let me say, Ohio, then EFS is not the right thing. Okay, then there will be a different service for that. Okay, which I'll tell you later. So as of now, let me just cancel out here. Okay, if you're not speaking, can you go on mute? Okay, so EFS is gone from here. Let me come back to my console, and I have just now created an image. Now I was saying when to use the image. From here, AMI. So you can see here, this HTTPD image is getting created, still pending in nature, but it is private. Okay, I can make it public. So that is there. So now the question is, why are you creating an image? What are you going to do with this image? So let me come back to my discussion, which I did with you some time back, where I was talking about scaling. I told scaling can be done two types: vertical scaling and horizontal scaling. So as of now, if I have one machine, I would like similar machines with similar capacity, similar software, so that the workload can be distributed. Now, when you bring up a new machine, you cannot go and sit and install softwares on this. So let me say that I'm running an online shopping website, e-commerce website. So all of a sudden the traffic comes, it means I will not have time to sit and install everything. It means the ready-made template should be ready with me. And this template should contain everything: software and data. And using this template, I can automatically go ahead and spin the required number of EC2 instance very fast. So there is where these images are required. So I will show you first manually, and then I will show you via auto scaling. So we will see how auto scale works and how manually also I can create an instance out of this. So I will just come down here and do a refresh. So I get a AMI ID. So this is my AMI ID. If I go all the way here, still pending. So I will have to wait. There is no other this thing. But one thing what I can do is I can come to action and I can make the AMI permission as public. So as of now, it is private. I will make it as public. So again, the same concept. If you make it a public, then it will be shared or visible to everyone. If you make it private, or if you keep it as private, then nobody will be able to see it. So I can see as of now, this is available. Now, once this is available, you can directly launch your instance from here. So it gives you an option, launch instance from AMI, or you can go back to your dashboard, running instance. Now this can be deleted. This you don't want. One more interview question. There is a scenario-based question here. Now, let me say that I've lost my key value pair. Okay, I've lost my key value pair. How can you recover your instance? So if you have lost your key value pair, come here and take an AMI of that. Once you take an AMI, go ahead and delete this instance. So I will terminate this instance. because I don't need it, because I already have a backup. Once I have the backup, I can go back to this launch instances. This time I will give another server, another name, HTTP, or the same name, give the same name, there's no problem. HTTPD server. And this time I'm not going to start from scratch. Earlier I started from Amazon Linux. This time I will start with my AMI. So if you click on this my AMI owned by me, you will be able to see your image. If you want that somebody should share with you, so ask his AMI ID and you will be able to see it here. So somebody will share it with you, means you will see it here. Now nobody has shared it with me, so I'm seeing owned by me. It is basically the image which I created. And this is the image ID. So if you take this image ID, you can also go ahead and do your work. And rest I will leave as it is. I'm not touching anything. So key value pair, I can create a new one or I can take the older one. Network setting, I will just come here and say, use the security group which we were using earlier also. So let me just come out of this, say the default security group. And then 8 GB of storage. Here I'm not doing anything. I'm not running any script. See here. I'm not running any script. Okay. I'm not installing any software. I'm simply coming here using the default values and saying, launch an instance for me. How to launch this instance? Launch this instance with the help of AMI. What is golden AMI? I will come to that, man. I also don't know what is golden AMI. Just a name given, I guess. Just let me check. I also don't know. So let me finish this first. So as of now, if you see here, this particular instance is pending. So I will wait for this thing to come up. And once this is up and running, I will go ahead and bring it up. Just let's wait for a minute. Okay, so this is running right now. If I come here, okay, if I come here, this is the IP address. Take this, come here, close this, paste it here, enter. And you can see this content is already available here. Okay, why is it available here? Because it has all the required things, like whatever is needed, it is already there. Who is giving it? It is getting it from my AMI. Okay. Okay. Any doubts, any questions related to this?
Yeah, because you told, right, when we forgot access key credentials. So in real time, do we really create the AMIs for each and every server?
No, no. You don't create it for each and every server, but there are some servers which are very critical. For those servers, you definitely do it.
Okay.
But yes, snapshot you take every time.
Because regarding termination protection, if we enable, is it something like we only can disable the protection?
No.
Or anybody can disable protection and terminate?
As of now, if you see, I am a root user. I'm an admin user. Okay. Now, because I am an admin user, I can do everything. Okay. But if you see in a real-time scenario, we will only enable certain users and they will only do it. Or if you are the creator of that instance, you will be able to do it. Do we need to select a key pair while creating an instance with AMI also? Yes. The answer is yes, but it is not mandatory. I'll just now show you that if I'm creating an instance, let me say I'm creating an instance and I don't want to, can we make any part of the data not? No, these things are not there, Nikhil. If you selective things are not there, I have never seen some selective things happening. So the question is that while creating a image with the AMI, if I don't want to give this, so this is required. So this is mandatory. So you should go ahead, or you should say proceed without key pair, which is not recommended, because if I go without key pair now, then I will not be able to log in. And as I told you, the browser login is many a times disabled. Could you please, I'll do it, Sunil. I'll do it today. I'll do it in some time. Fine.
Because
yeah,
we run a script in user data, right? At that time, we run a single script. Suppose if you have more than one script, means how can we run it using the
then you put everything in that script only. Means,
okay.
Suppose you have 3-4 scripts like this. So you merge all the scripts together. So let me say I have 4 scripts. So you merge everything together. Like in one step only, you give all of them.
Okay, then we can merge. Then this is the only way we can merge and run, right?
Yes. Or one script you run via Bootstrap, others you go inside and run. But generally we don't do like that. We put everything in that user data and we run it everything together.
Yeah, okay, because.
Okay. And feel free to go ahead and practice these things. Okay. There are many things which cannot be covered, because there will be a certain question in your mind that I think, okay, no, it is a very simple thing, but that question may be that let me try like this. And trust me, when you try, you learn a lot of things. So like one of you asked for a Nitro instance. So Nitro instance is something which is not commonly used. Again, it is very costly. So most of the people don't use it. But still, if you go with Nitro instances, you will be able to share your EBS volumes. So that's a new thing. So every day you will see that Amazon is adding some or the other thing. Okay. Is it possible to run a script that resides in S3 while bootstrapping? Not directly, but there are other ways. Like down the line, I will teach you there is something called CloudFormation or Terraform. So CloudFormation, Terraform are the script-based stuffs. So there you can do all these things. Something which is there in S3. So you just give the path and then it will take the content from that S3 path and it will run. So these, see, I'm saying everything which you want to do, there is a shortcut or there is a alternate way of doing it, but you should know how to achieve that. Okay, so you can give it a try. Can you share some multi-scripts so that you will get idea? Yeah, I'll do that.
Because I have a question.
Yeah.
So you're saying that I mean, with whenever we enter the script, so from the user data, we will be enter it. So my question is, like, without bringing down the instance, can't we update multiple scripts? I mean, suppose my question is,
this is not allowed. Basically, this thing will not work. I'll show you this. So without stopping your instance, you cannot update it because that will not work. So let me say I have this server. Okay, I want to go here and make the script changes. Let me say I want to go to here and make the script changes. So for here, there is no user data, but even if there is a user data, no, you cannot make these changes because it is running. So you have to stop it and then you can do changes.
Okay, so this kind of user data, this will be, I mean, it will be stored somewhere in the, I mean, in the instance level, right?
EBS
so
volumes. It is stored in the EBS only.
EBS only. Okay.
Okay, one more question is, if the VM is not terminated, will it be there or expire? There is no expiry date. It will stay there for ages. Even if you don't delete, it will stay there. Once you delete it, then it gets deleted. Can other users disable terminate protection? See, if the user has that access, like I am a root user, okay, I have the access, okay, so I can do it. But in case you are not a root user, then you will not be able to do it. And suppose somebody intentionally wants to delete your data, then you cannot do anything, man. Then you have to somehow take a backup or keep taking backup at regular interval. So that's the only way.
Because
yeah,
can you able to show how the files are shared between the instances? EFS concept.
Hi, EFS I showed you yesterday, right?
Yeah, okay. You mean that by running that script, right?
Yes, yes. So when you launch a EFS, there is a mount which you have to do. Once you
Okay.
mount that mount volume, it will start sharing, so that there will be a common folder, and this common folder can be shared across n number of instances.
Yeah, okay, Vikas.
Only way to get instance data is creating AMI? No. Yesterday, day before yesterday also, I told you that if you are only concerned about your data, then go with snapshot. And I told you when you create a AMI, automatically a snapshot is also created. So this is AMI. You can see one AMI got created here. You can see the time when it got created. 1928. At the same time, you will see a snapshot also will get created. And snapshot is the one which is taking care of the data. Where is snapshot? Yeah, snapshot. So snapshot is the one who is taking care. See here, it is saying created by AMI, and this is the AMI. And if you go and see the time, 1929. So 1928 AMI got created, 1929 volume got created. So volume or the backup of volume, which is snapshot. Snapshot will contain the data. AMI will contain the software plus the data.
Can we create a snapshot alone?
Yes, you can do snapshot alone. So let me say I want to create a snapshot. So go to volume. This volume, I want to create a snapshot. Come here. Action. Create a snapshot. You can take a snapshot here. So if you only want that backup of the data, take a snapshot.
Yeah, okay.
And again, I'm saying, please do not hesitate to try. There are lots of options here. Okay, some are very widely used, which I'll discuss in the class. Some are not that frequently used, but during interview, they may ask you such a question. So please go and practice. It is not costly. It is not going to cost you like 10,000 or 20,000. It is free. It is covered under free tier. So if you are using anything less than 750 hours, it is covered under free. So please do as many permutations you want. It will be very much helpful. The more you get your hands dirty, the more confident you will get. Okay. I will teach you, this may happen, this may not happen, but at the end of the day, what matters is how much practice you have done. Okay. And the PPT I will share the link with the coordinator. You can just take it from there. I'll share it today itself.
Vikas, keeping all snapshot, is it a good practice?
Yes, snapshot. See, every time taking a backup is a good practice. Whatever data you have, whatever format you have, if you take a backup of that, it is very good. Okay, fine. See you then Monday, guys. We meet on Monday again. And
because one last question.
Yes.
Okay, so this is general question. In AWS, how can we segregate the environments like SIT or UAT or production?
Okay, so in that case, I will have to help you. See, there is something called AWS organization. So like that you can do. So I will hold on for a second.
One question: snapshot and AMI chargeable?
No. There is something called AWS organization. See here. So you get central governments of various AWS account. So let me say you have multiple accounts. One is dev, another one is UAT, the third one is prod. So you can manage all of them using AWS organization. How can we create instance? How can we create instance using snapshot? You cannot create. Using snapshot, you cannot create an instance. I told that instances are not bootable, so you cannot create. If we delete AMI, corresponding snapshot also gets deleted automatically. Okay, if you, let me show you this. If you delete your AMI, right, the snapshot will not get deleted because AMI deletion option is only not there. Wait a second. So if I come back here now, EC2 dashboard, AMI. If you come to AMI, there is no option to delete this. See here, there is no option to delete this. There is only an option to deregister. So when you deregister this, only the AMI gets deregistered. But this guy, this snapshot, it will stay as it is. See, the snapshot stays as it is. So you have to go and manually remove this. Okay. How to recover data from snapshot? So whenever you have a snapshot, so let me say this is my snapshot. So as of now, I don't have, like whenever you have, you say, create a volume from the snapshot. Once the volume is available, this is the volume, suppose, volume. Once the volume is available, go and attach this to a EC2 instance. So you can attach the volume. So attach volume means any EC2 which is running, you attach this. So it is like one hard disk you take from here and put it somewhere else. So it will get attached. Okay, fine. See you then guys on Monday. Please do practice so that you get max of what we are teaching.
Vikas, one last question. See how generally we automate the EC2 backup using EBS, like via
For
API.
that, I will show you there is something called Lambda. So via Lambda and all we can do this. So there are 2-3 ways. One is the manual way where you go ahead and take manual backups. But in case you want to automate the process, there is something called Lambda, and using that you can do.
Okay. What I have heard, it's through via API also some process. Is it what?
There are APIs also for that. Yes.
So because EC2 is over.
Yes, as of now it is over. Yes.
Okay. So next section,
auto scaling and load balancing will come.
Okay. Okay.
Vikas, we have a weekend, so if you can provide the prior to those which you are gonna conduct in next week, so we'll have a readout and then it will be good.
You ping
some
me
notes,
in the group.
PDF,
Whatever you want, you ping me in the group. I'll just prepare and share it across.
Yeah. The topics which you are starting from Monday, those topics we required prior. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. See you then, guys.